Spell Demon Hunter is back with Across the Timeways, and it's getting the biggest charger we have ever seen. We'll be reviewing that and all the other cards Demon Hunter is getting in this video. Now, as always, we're not going to waste any time in the intros with giveaways, so let's get started with the very first card we got for Demon Hunter, which is Time Lost Glaive. A 1-mana 2/2 weapon with Death Rattle. Get a random demon from the past. So I think this card by itself, right, a 1-mana 2/2 weapon is actually quite solid already, right? It's a 1-mana deal 4, kill 2 minions maybe early on. Just seems actually like a solid weapon by itself. And then, yeah, you get a random demon from the past. And I'd say generally they're not the strongest, right? It's just it's a nice little bonus for the weapon, but not really something you want to rely on with this weapon, or the reason you put this weapon in the deck, right? You put this in the deck because you want to have that 1-mana deal 4, and I think that's quite solid. Just looks like a nice weapon for 1 mana with maybe an upside of getting a demon that is useful. So it just looks like a decent card to me, and I'll be giving this 3 stars. And the second card for Demon Hunter, and it's the start of the spell package for Demon Hunter, is Solitude, a 2-mana spell. Discover a minion. If your deck has no minions, reduce the cost of any in your hand by 2. So by itself, it's 2 mana, get a minion, and then reduces cost by 2. So like 0 mana discover a minion, which is pretty bad because discovering any minion, like that's not very good, right? You can get any neutral, anything that has no synergy with your deck, tech cards you don't want, like all that stuff. So that's generally pretty bad. So you don't want to be ever playing this card by itself. Now what you can maybe do with this card is, right, have some other card generating cards. Like we have like Emergency Meeting from last year that actually generates like 3 minions. You could maybe combo with that, or some other generating like that weapon we just saw, right? We can just reduce the demon by 2, and then it probably gets a lot better. So you can maybe play a few cards to generate a few like weapon spells, right? Because you don't want to be playing any minions if you ever play this. I just don't feel like there's a lot of minions that you can really generate that you really want with this card. So I can't really rate this card highly. I think I'll give it 2 stars just because maybe we'll get some other minion generating spells in the future, right? And then the mana reduction can be quite strong if you get a bunch of them. But this card by itself, not very good at all. Then we have the next spell Demon Hunter card, which is Lasting Legacy. A 3-mana spell, of course. I give you a hero plus 4 attack this turn. If your deck has no minions, give any in hand plus 4 attack. So this is another card that requires you to generate minions in hand, and then this one gets them plus 4 attack. Now, ideally, right, you give this to cards like Rushers and Chargers, but yeah, a lot of the cards you generate are not going to be rushing or charging, besides that Legendary we'll get to later. So I don't think giving attack to minions in your hand is super amazing. Like, yeah, it can be nice if you get a few minions, right, but it's I don't think it's a massive difference for this card. It's just you just don't generate that many minions that are that relevant for getting the attack. However, you do also, of course, get that plus 4 attack anyway for your hero. And I think we've seen cards in the past that are somewhat similar to this, right? 3 mana gain 4 attack. That I've seen some play in Demon Hunter because, of course, Demon Hunter is pretty aggressive. They like to hit the opponent in the face. But it does feel like there's going to be just more efficient cards to play for Demon Hunter to deal damage or develop the board. And I just don't feel like having just spells only is really gonna have enough damage to win as an aggro deck. You just kind of like the early game with the minions right now. You have a lot of good 1-drops, right? The Demon Hunter that really win. I think you're kind of lacking that one for this kind of archetype. I think that's gonna be the main issue. Just yeah, you can have the damage from hand for the spells, but if you don't get that minion damage in, then generally most decks will just be able to get enough health to survive. So I don't think this card is going to be amazing, but again, it does give 4 attack to your hero, which might just be enough to make it see play, so I'll be giving this 2 stars as well. And the next card in this archetype is Hounds of Fury, a 4-mana spell. Summon 2 3/3 demons. If your deck has no minions, they attack the lowest health enemy. So yeah, this is a 4-mana 6/6. We saw that recently as well with Rogue, which wasn't very good, but this one seems a little bit better, well, at least if you're playing a spell deck, because yeah, just by itself, you would never ever play this card. But if you're playing a no minion Demon Hunter, this looks pretty good, right? Just basically 6 charge damage that you know where it's going, right? Like if it's an empty board, that's just a fireball phase, and you develop 2 minions. Kind of what you want as Demon Hunter, right? Or it just takes care of like some low health minions. Like if you're facing a Death Knight, you can maybe kill 2 leeches with this, and then develop 2 minions, so that is pretty solid. Again, though, in this archetype, I feel like you're going to be struggling winning on board because you just don't have that many minions. So then if the opponent develops minions, you might kind of struggle a little bit to get on board. And yeah, if this doesn't go face, it definitely gets weaker. But I still think this is a pretty solid card for a no-minion Demon Hunter, because that's just a lot of damage, and then stats on the board, just kind of what the kind of deck wants. So I'll be giving this card 3 stars. And then we're having the first legendary for this archetype, which is the Eternal Hold. A 6 mana, 3 durability location. Get a demon that costs 5 or more. If your deck has no minions, your next one costs 0. So this is a pretty expensive card. And again, this is a card that you only play in a no minion deck, because yeah, getting a random demon that costs 5 or more, not something you want to be playing. But if you can make him cost 0, or you could actually make another demon cost 0 as well, right? Doesn't have to be exactly that one, but probably the demon you get from this is going to be the one costing 0. So it's basically get a 0 mana demon that has base cost of 5 or more. And overall, there's a bunch of good demons, right, of 5 cost or more that you can get. There's like the Big Taunt, like this can be from any class, right? It's not Discover, so it can also be like the Warlock Taunt, which is pretty big and not bad to get for 0 mana. But also some Demon Hunter cards are good, right? Even like a Window Shopper, right, is really nice, because you get that 0 mana 6/5 that generates another 0 mana 6/5, and then the Mini as well. So those can be quite good, but there's also some weaker cards, right? Like an Alarashi or like a Fell Hunt kind of card that just has no synergy, and then you spend 6 mana on getting like, you know, maybe a 5/3. Like, is that what you want? Not really. Like, this feels like it's 6 mana and then just hope to get something good. Yeah, you can do it 3 times though, but it just feels a little bit risky to play this in a Demon Hunter deck, especially in like a no-minion deck, right? That's generally more aggressive. It's not really trying to focus on the late game. You just don't have spells really for the late game. And this card, I just feel like you don't want to be playing it. Like, this card just, it doesn't really fit the archetype. It's too late, you play it, and maybe you get something useful. I don't think you can afford to do that, especially not in an aggressive deck that no minion Demon Hunter is supposed to be. So I think it's a bad card. I'll be giving this 1 star. Then we're getting to the last spell for Demon Hunter, which is Aeon Rend, a 4 mana Fel spell with Rewind. Deal 4 damage to 2 random enemies. So yeah, 2 random enemies, so it can go phase once, but since it says 2 random, it means 2 different enemies. So yeah, if your opponent has 1 minion, that means it will hit the minion and face. And then for 4 mana, dealing 4 face damage. I mean, it's not incredible, right? It's only 1 time that 4 face damage. And then if there's like an H2 Your right, Arcanite Defense Crystal, a lot of minions have that 5 health. Then you don't even kill that minion for 4 mana. You do a little bit of face damage. And that just doesn't really feel worth it, right? If you're playing an aggro deck where you really want that face damage, it feels like there's better stuff. And once you lose board, of course, this is a little bit inconsistent if it hits face or not. There's a big board, it might just hit 2 big minions and yeah, not kill anything, and then you wasted 4 mana on it. And yes, there is Rewind, which is a nice upgrade, right? Like, it makes it a little bit better, but I don't think that means you want to be playing this card. You just don't want to spend 4 mana on this for the 4 damage phase. Like, there's too much healing armor gain nowadays to be able to play this kind of card, and I don't think it goes in aggro deck, so I don't think it goes into anything right now, so I'll be giving this 1 star. And if you enjoyed the review so far, make sure to subscribe. I got many more reviews coming up here on the channel, and as always, a playlist is in the description. Now let's get to the final Demon Hunter Legendary, and it is a big one. It is Broxigar, a 2 mana 12/12 Fabled card with charge. Start of game, disappear. Kill all 4 demons from Argus to reappear in hand. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, the Fabled cards, right? Let's go over them. First, we have the first portal to Argus, which is a 0 mana Fel spell. Summon a 1/1 demon for your opponent. When it dies, draw a card and shuffle the next portal into your deck. And then the other Fabled card you get when putting Broxigar in your deck is Axe of Cenarius, a 3 mana 3/2 weapon with lifesteal. After your hero attacks and kills a minion, draw a portal to Argus. Of course, these portals come with the minions, so you get the Fleeing Urzel that you summon for your opponent you have to kill then. Then the second portal you'll get is the second portal, and then you get a Fleeing Incubus. That is a 2/1. The third portal summons a 3/1 for the opponent. And then the last portal summons a 4/1 for the opponent, the Terror Guard you see here. And if you kill that one, you get Broxigar in hand. So that is a bit of effort to get the card, but I mean, of course, you have to put some effort to get a 2 mana 12/12 with charge. And what's going to happen in the game, right, is you're going to try and draw that first portal. Now you can draw it by itself, or you can play the weapon to draw the first one and kill a minion, right? And you draw it, and then you play it for 0, and then you try and kill that again. Then you can swing again with the axe and then get the second portal, and then you just have to draw the other 2 portals naturally. So that can take a bit of time, right? Like it's not an amazing card. There's a portal. If anything, right, it's a negative spell until you played all 4 of them. And then yeah, you do have the Exo Snares, which is nice because it's a 3 mana 3/2 lifesteal weapon, and then that draws those portals as well. And then those minions off the portal are pretty easy to clear, right? They're just 1 health, so you can just hero power them. Worst case, or you know, put a 1/1 charger into them or something like that. Pretty easy to clear. Just it might take a while. That's the main issue I think with this card, right? Is that especially if you're playing this in a spell Demon Hunter deck, which this can go into because Broxigar disappears, so you don't have a minion in your deck. It just, you don't really have good tutors, right, for this. Like, yeah, you can draw a bunch, but, you know, the portal might just be one of the last cards in your deck, and then you have to draw these portals 4 times, right? And drawing 4 specific cards to make this work can be kind of difficult. Yeah, you have the weapon, which can draw 2 if you draw the weapon right, but then still, you need to draw 2 specific cards. And I'm sure you know there's always these games, right, where you're looking for 1 card that has 2 copies and you never find it. Well, this one is even more likely for that to happen, right? Because you're not shuffling all the portals at the start, just 1 portal, and then you shuffle again. So it's even more likely that it takes a while. But then once you do complete it, yeah, the reward is pretty amazing. That Broxigar, right? You can just charge, you can even Brewmaster it, red card it, so in 2 turns you can attack again with it. Just, yeah, lots of possibilities just to win with that card. I mean, you have to have some good payoff, right, for this to work with that kind of slow setup. But yeah, the payoff is pretty amazing. A lot of ways you can abuse it, right? You can buff that card with the previous spell that gives +4 attack maybe, and that card can win the game real fast, right? I mean, just 1 Brewmaster, you have 6 mana, deal 24, and then on top of all the other damage Demon Hunter has is like, yeah, you probably win from that point. So it's another Fabled card that's kind of hard to judge, right? Because yeah, the portal by itself, right, until you get the Broxigar, it's just helping your opponent, forcing you to deal with it. It's just -1 card basically for you, and that is pretty bad. But I think the reward, right, Broxigar, is pretty amazing. That I think if we'll see play, people will definitely be trying this card. I'll be giving it 3 stars. I think the payoff is really, really good. But yeah, I think it takes a little bit long to get there. And yeah, losing a card isn't ideal. You don't have too much card rolls Demon Hunter to consistently get it fast. So I feel like most of the games, it's going to take just a little bit too long to get there. But yeah, once you get there, you do really just win the game. All right, that was the Fabled card. Now let's get to the final 3 cards for Demon Hunter, the 3 minions. First of all, we got the Timeways Warden, a 4 mana 2/6 with Battlecry, imprison an enemy minion. It goes dormant for 10,000 turns. Death Rattle, awaken it. Now this is a bit similar to my EF we saw with Ashes of Outland, and that card never saw play. And this card, yeah, just doesn't look amazing. Yeah, you can kind of meme with it, right, and bounce this, and then you lock a minion forever, reduce the board slots for the opponent. But is that going to consistently win games? No. Those decks are just going to be meme decks. You can maybe get a highlight from it 1 in 10 games, but the other games you're just going to be losing. And then a 4 mana 2/6 that maybe stops 1 minion attacking for a turn. It's like a freeze, basically. That's not that amazing. If you want to deal with a minion, you much rather play red card for 1 mana than this one. So I don't think you want to be playing this card, and I'll be giving it 1 star. Then we have the Doomsday Prepper, a 5 mana 5/4 minion with Outcast. Your hero is immune until your next turn. So this is basically timeout, right? Just make your hero immune, and you can't die pretty much unless there's like a Wheel of Death. So really amazing effect, but it needs Outcast, and I think that's the main issue, right? Because Demon Hunter, I mean, usually most decks are pretty aggressive, so then you don't want to be playing this card, because you don't really want to have a card that does nothing. You want to win the game, kill the opponent, right? So this is not that good, right? For 5 mana, just developing a 5/4, it's just not worth it. So pretty much you want to be playing this kind of card in a slower deck, right? Like a combo deck. But then, first of all, what are you playing this in? And second of all, this doesn't really work in a combo deck because of the Outcast, right? Like if you're playing a combo deck, you're going to have combo cards, and they're usually going to be stuck on the left side of your hand. Then you top deck this one, and then when are you going to be playing this? Because those combo cards are on the left side of your hand, you're never going to Outcast this, and it's pretty useless unless you exactly top deck it at the right moment. Just not worth playing, I would say, so I'll be giving this 1 star. And then the final card for Demon Hunter is the Perennial Serpent, an 8 mana 7/9 beast with Rush. Cost 4 less if a minion is dormant. Now, any minion, so your minion or an opponent's minion, so this works for like red card. The Timeways Warden we just saw, it works with the dormant cards, the Dread Seeds. And I think that's the main reason you'll be playing this card is probably those Dread Seeds, right? Those are just really strong cards by themselves. And going like turn 2 Dread Seed, turn 3 Dread Seed, and then turn 4 this one actually doesn't look that bad, right? That looks like a pretty good curve. Pretty often, yeah, they just get the Dread Seeds early, and then guaranteed if you have the 3-mana Dread Seed that summons 2, there's guaranteed a dormant minion. And then this looks really strong on turn 4. It's a 7/9 with Rush, so you can take out a minion and still have a big minion left. So that's really nice. And then also it works with like the red card, so you just take care of a minion and get a big minion on your side. So that looks nice, but still, there's not that many dormant cards, right? Red card is very situational, so it's really just those Dread Seeds. And if you don't get those Dread Seeds on curve, then you don't want to be playing this card, right? On turn 8, this is awful. So you can really only combo it with those Dread Seeds, like maybe on turn 6, you Dread Seed plus this one. But then by then already the value of this card gets reduced. So it really is mostly good if you can play it on curve on turn 4. And it might just be good enough for that to see play. And yeah, that's why I think I'll be giving this 2 stars. Because most decks I don't think it will see play, but maybe if you're playing those Dread Seeds in the red card, then this card is just often enough active for it to be worth an inclusion, because those stats are pretty amazing if you can make this 4 mana. And those are all the Demon Hunter cards. Do you think the spell Demon Hunter is going to work? Do you think Broxigar is going to work? Are you going to be trying it out? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time.